AFTERBUZZ TV Network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Wicked Single After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and give you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Wicked Single After Show.
That's right, we're all single in here. Hey, you guys.
Wickedly so.
You guys are all single, right?
Wickedly single.
Awesome.
That's a personal question.
Because I'm definitely wicked single. So all you guys out there.
So call in at 877. No.
Well, we do have an AfterBuzz number. But anyways, I'm your host, Gabrielle Loren. You can follow me at Gabrielle_Loren on Twitter. What about you guys? We have new people in the studio tonight.
Hey guys, it's Jeffrey Masters, and you can follow me at JeffMasters1.
And I'm Alex Schiffman. You can follow me at Alex Schiffman. Very easy.
Nice. So, you guys, Wicked Single. It is not the Jersey Shore, but it's kind of close. It's the closest thing on TV right now.
Yeah, they're referring to it as the Jersey Shore North because it's north of the Jersey Shore.
Right.
It's
That's
more of like a
Yeah.
SNL sketch with Boston accents of the Jersey Shore characters.
Exactly.
I could see it. I could see it. So what do you guys think of the characters on this show? Because, like, we have some big personalities, and then we have some people that are like, they're all right.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite on the show?
Well, Chubs, obviously.
Chubs.
Chubs is the only one with the nickname, so I feel like he has to be a fan favorite. And he's just outrageous.
He's almost like the narrator, too, of the show. Like, he, like, sets it up, he wraps it
You're
up.
so right.
You know, maybe he wants to, like, do a wrap-up for us on AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah.
But we'll see about that.
Chubs, if you hear us.
Did we, like, in the first episode, when we got, like, the tour of his bedroom, there was, like, the snack table?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the snack table. He said that he doesn't get, the girls get the snack table, they get to the snack table, they get the Cheez-Its, and then they pass out. So he doesn't even get any action from the girls.
I actually died when I heard that. Like, I died.
And then he had his green towel or blanket over the window.
Yeah.
It looked like my college freshman year like dormitory.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
I love how he thinks, like, being hungover is a mental thing. I never thought about it like that. Do you guys think that's, like, valid?
Well, think about it. If you get up and you go do all your errands and you know drink your water, you eat your meal, you're ready for the day.
I don't know.
But if you play it hungover, you
about
sleep,
that.
you keep the green sheet down, then you're just hungover.
Well, what about, like, you guys, have you ever had, like, tequila and been hungover the next? Does tequila affect you like it affects me?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I am so bad the next day. I barely drink tequila because of it. Yeah, like, can't get out of bed, migraine headache, it's, like, miserable.
Sure. Tequila. That's the name.
Exactly.
Tequila will tequila you.
It will tequila you for sure. It kills me all the time. Patron, whatever else there is out there.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I can't do it. So I think it's so funny that he's like 30 years old. Props to you, Chubs, because the older you get, the harder it is, and he's still chubbing away.
Well, what about how he'll kiss anyone? He said girls, guys, children.
Kiss or lick.
Or
He licks up a storm. Like, is that how
Let's
it
talk
gets the
about
girls?
who he was licking in the group, you guys.
Oh.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Yeah, who I'm not a fan of, so we'll talk about Jamie's character. She was brought in kind of randomly. I didn't think she was going to be as much of a character as she was, because in the first episode it was kind of like, this is Jamie. She doesn't really like Rachel that much. They had issues. They didn't speak for 3 months. But then on the second episode, they brought her in more.
Yeah, she's getting a lot of like screen time, and she even had a like confessional too. Like they brought her in to hear like her side of the story, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a more important character as it turns out. But let's talk about the bows. Like, what are these bows that Jamie wears?
What is her sense of style she's got going? I mean, I guess, like, in the Jersey Shore, all those people had a lot of crazy personalities and wore these nutso outfits. And I remember back in the day when, like, tight dresses were cool and big, gaudy belts. I don't know. It's not cool anymore, but they'll still wear it.
Right.
So this is like maybe a Boston thing or a Jamie thing. I don't know. But the ribbon and the hair.
I think it's a Jamie thing. And it's a different color. Like the first episode, we had a red one. Now we have a blue one. It's like, but it's like it's a child. It's so weird.
It is weird. And she's just so strange to me. I don't even understand exactly what happened in the Rachel and Jamie situation, how they weren't speaking.
She said they had she had a fight. Rachel had a fight with a friend, and Jamie was kind of in the middle, and I think took the friend's side, or they didn't get into pretty deeply into the story,
detail.
but she just hates Jamie.
It was just so catty without much explanation.
And Jamie just had like no interest in like trying to make it up or trying to be a nice person.
No.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Rachel, because Rachel's a big character on the show, and
she is
that
a
Boston
big
accent.
Character.
Let's just talk about the Boston accent, because she's the only one that's really that accent is very, very prevalent.
It's there.
It is, and I'll say it time and time again because we kept mentioning this, but Rachel and Nikki make this show.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They make it.
They are the new like Nene and Kim Zolciak actors.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Or
I love
Snooki and
them.
JWoww.
Yes.
Exactly.
If we're referring back to Jersey Shore, I
Always.
think Rachel is definitely JWoww, because she has the good job. She has kind of more of a head on her shoulders. She takes control. And Nikki
keeps falling.
keeps falling and is the klutz.
Like a Snooki.
Yeah, but we meet Rachel. She's drunk. She's loud. She's got this accent. You're like, who is this girl? And then you're like, oh, you do medical device sales. Like, I don't want you anywhere near the hospital.
But
when
at
I'm
the
going
same
in.
time, she has to be kind of smart if you're doing that, because you need to know about the anatomy and what you're putting in it.
Right. I mean, she's definitely smart. Like I said, she has a head on her shoulders. She's just...
But not smart, like, people-wise. Like,
No.
she wants a husband, she wants kids, and she's going to bars, she's jumping on them, and she's... I
I love how she said she got into medical devices because she wanted to hopefully meet a doctor. And she wants the white picket fence. But you know what? I feel like girls are going to relate to her, because she talks about how, she may never find a husband, and especially in today's age when everyone's wicked single and not finding any husbands, I feel like a lot of girls are going to be able to relate to her.
I agree. So Rachel, don't move to LA because you'll be disappointed.
Definitely not. Stay in
better
Boston.
here.
If you can't find any doctors in Boston, you're not coming and finding any in LA. Let me tell you, I've lived here my whole life, Rachel.
You'll be wicked single for a wicked long time. No joke. But what I love about this group is that they're just so outrageous. And Nikki reminds me of Rebel Wilson.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Did you think that when you were
The whole
watching?
time, yeah.
I was like, this girl, but Rebel, I don't know if she's just acting all the time when she's on camera and she's really normal at home with her friends and family, but I swear the one-liners that she gives and just the things she says are so funny, and they really remind me of Rebel Wilson.
And that's why I love her too, though, because I feel like it's not acting. She's dumb. She's on the dumber side. She's dumb because she's very dumb, but she's not like playing dumb. Like I feel like that's like
It is
genuinely
her.
who she is.
It's loopy. That's what it is.
What about the second episode when she said she's paralyzed?
Oh yeah.
And Rachel goes, when Nikki says she's paralyzed, it's time to leave the bar. That's just an understood statement.
And then she also says, guys like me because during football games I sit there and I don't say anything. Oh, great.
And that's why they like me, because they think Nikki's cool. I don't say anything.
Literally.
That's all we need to do. Just sit and watch the football game and don't say a word.
Yeah, what are you two girls doing here talking? You're repelling men.
Seriously, but I feel like they're a blast in a glass. I love these two together.
I love them. I love them together.
Such good chemistry, and if it wasn't for them, I don't think I could watch this show.
No.
I don't think there are enough good characters for me to really get engaged with it. But because Rachel and Nikki are that duo team, I watch it and I love it.
What about Chelsea? Let's talk about Chelsea.
Chelsea's drama. She just
Chelsea's
wants to
the
fight.
youngest
She's
one.
unhappy.
She's the youngest one, and I think
Chubs' best friend.
Chubs' best friend. They know each other previously. And I don't know, she says like she tries to stay out of the drama, whereas Rachel and Nikki are more drama queens. And she says that's did she say the Antichrist or something like that?
Yeah, something to that
She doesn't like drama, but at the same time,
she kind of starts it.
She kind of starts it because she's angry.
Yeah.
She's very angry.
I mean, in the whole bar scene at it was Chubs' Dirty 30, right?
Right.
During the day / night, they were all drinking since noon. Chelsea got drunk, and when Rachel tried to introduce her to Nikki, she kind of freaked out. And to me, and they called it out later in the show, but they were saying how it's jealousy because she doesn't want Chubs to kind of like forget about her. You know, she likes her circle of friends and it being tight knit, and she doesn't want anyone to take that away.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and so the thing is, for me, is I definitely see that when she gets drunk, truth comes out. Hey, it happens, and she was really hating on those girls because they're prettier. No offense. They get more attention because they're loud.
Taken.
They're that type A that we always talk about. So they are pretty much the life of the party, and I don't think she likes that. I think it makes her uncomfortable.
But also, speaking of the drinking, the like pre-gaming that they do in Boston, or at least this group of friends, like that's me like raging like on like a once-a-year trip, and that's like their pre-game. I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
like it's impressive.
It's very Jersey Shore-esque.
Yeah.
It is. It reminds me of college.
Oh yeah, they're all
the
still
way.
in college. What about Joe? What do you think about Joe?
Joe is weird because Rachel was into him and he kind of dissed her and put her to the side. And then as soon as Jamie started hitting on him, he was all about it towards the end of the second episode.
I could see an advancement with Jamie, and it's like,
get it.
What about Rachel?
No,
I think
it was
Rachel's
just,
cool.
I think it was just for Jamie's birthday. He was like, all right, it's her birthday. It's one time a year. Like, I'll deal with it. But
yeah.
But it was Chubs' birthday that other night, so what's the difference?
Well, that's how Joe's like, you know, I hook up with a lot of girls, but I can count on one hand how many girlfriends I've actually cared about.
Yeah.
So he goes, I'm going to stick to hooking up with girls because that's my thing.
I loved it. He called it legitimate girlfriends.
Yeah.
I was like,
legitimate girlfriends I actually care about.
I know. But also that first, I think it was like the first episode, we see him, he's drinking those Bud Light limes. He had like 8 of them down. And he's talking about his job, how I think they laid off I didn't understand this. They're laying off the entire department. He's an IT guy, but he's still getting paid. I was like, so what do you do? And like, why do they keep you on salary?
That's so. I wonder if they're all going to keep their jobs after this show.
Well, that's something different.
Something
they all
always
have
wonder.
jobs.
Yeah, like, can you take them seriously? Would you take fans out there seriously? Would you take them seriously if let's say Rachel walked into your business and was selling you a medical device, or you know, any of these scenarios? Would you take them seriously? Let us know by commenting on our YouTube or iTunes. Rate us as well, because it really helps us and it gives us more visibility. And the more visible we are for you,
the more wicked we can be.
Exactly. I love it, Alex. Thank you very much. Well said, my friend. So, speaking about all these people, the relationships amongst the group are a little bit nuts. So we just kind of covered the Chubs and Chubs and Chelsea?
Yeah.
So I definitely think Chelsea's kind of into Chubs. I think secretly she loves him and wants his babies, but isn't really coming out and saying that. That's my opinion.
But also, like, how do you like Chubs? Like, she said the first day they met, he whacked her so hard that she had a bruise for 3 weeks on her butt, and she's like laughing about it. Like, that's called child abuse. Like, you know, like that's when you get arrested
child
for.
Abuse because Chelsea looks so young.
Because she's 24, the youngest. She's the child.
True, and he's 30.
Well, I like what he said, how he needs a girl that said something like he doesn't need a girl that's going to push the pedal. He needs a girl with a pedal.
With a pedal.
With a pedal, because he's so outrageous.
Right.
And I kind of think that they're like the girl and guy version of each other. So I feel like where Chelsea's much younger, she's kind of into it. She's like, this is like my soulmate. Where Chubs is like, doesn't care, and like we said, will kiss anyone. Right. But it's like interesting to see the dynamic because Chelsea's into him. And I think he likes her. Oh, yeah. Chelsea loves him.
I think Chubs is confused.
I think Chubs is confused on life.
I mean, I love you, Chubs, but I really do think he's confused.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure about what's going through that. Because, honestly, when you're 30 and you're still living that lifestyle, you still are into girls, like, or vice versa. But it's like, you're still into people. And I feel like if you haven't had a serious relationship and all you think about is partying and drinking, and you're 30, like, where's your life headed? Like, what is going through your head?
Yeah.
That was the wild thing. Like,
get it.
why are these 30-year-olds, like, still doing this and behaving
And he's not going home with anyone, so it's not even like he's really hooking up with anybody. He's just drinking, going out, sleeping, going to work.
Well, if you saw the preview for next week, Chelsea says something about how I'm the only one that always goes home with Chubs. Like, she keeps saying that he ends up...
Does she hook up with him? Probably not.
No, but they sleep. I guess she sleeps on the couch. I don't really know.
Where they cuddle.
Maybe. But they keep talking about how, like, 30 is the new 20. That's, like, a common theme going on. You know, how, you know, in today's day, it's like, 30s, 20.
Yeah, and I guess I'm used to that because like everyone in LA is so like career driven, like they want this, and this, and then they want the family, but like they're not doing that much. Like, like I don't know, like they don't want anything when they're 30. They just want to keep partying and like continue the 20s lifestyle. Like you were saying, like, it's
You're
so
so
weird.
right. And you know what's funny about all this? I don't think they ever introduced Nikki as being into anybody yet, or like wanting to hook up or anything. It's all been about Rachel. Rachel.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah, there's no guy she's interested in.
No guys.
Well, Nikki said something about Derek Jeter. She said she loves Boston, but if Derek Jeter called her, she would get up and leave and marry him.
Well, you know what? Maybe after this show, she might get her chance.
Yeah, I think
Fingers crossed.
You never know.
Nikki and Derek Jeter.
Oh, it killed me in the first episode too when Rachel was like showing her fridge covered in the wedding invitations.
Oh.
And then she goes to the bar, she jumps on the guy, and she says, "Tell me I'm pretty and then I'm skinny."
Yeah. Tell me I'm pretty and skinny.
Like great
Skinny's
pickup
totally different
lines.
me.
Wow. Like I just want to hold her, like make her take deep breaths, like put her in some yoga poses, and just say like it's gonna be okay, but this isn't the way you do it. Like there are better ways to get what you want out of life.
Yeah, you're
She's
so right.
hilarious.
She needs a few deep breaths, especially when she tries to speak and she's drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese food. Can someone do an impression of that? Give me your best Rachel.
Okay. So, I need a little Chinese.
What? What are you trying to order, ma'am? I can't understand what you're saying.
I just want an egg roll.
What?
One egg roll.
No, you have to speak clearly. I can't understand you.
Make up your
Why
mind.
is everyone being so mean to me tonight? And then Nikki's like, in her, she's like in her purse, like her head
Was
is
she
in
crying
her
or did she pass out?
I don't know, but that was my favorite part of the
Yes.
show.
If that scene wasn't reality TV, I'd be like, these are bad actors. Like, why did they write this scene?
No, then I would have been like, you should have a reality show
Yes.
right then and there.
They're perfect.
They really are perfect together, so I'm happy they're friends. But speaking of the friends and the connections and relationships and everything, when I was watching the first episode, it kind of seemed weird to me that it was mainly like the Chubs Chelsea group and then the Rachel and Nikki. So I didn't even know they knew each other from the whole first episode, for at least most of it, because their storylines were so separate. And they didn't really show them getting together.
I thought they were all friends. And then in the second episode, you know, Nikki walks in and she's like, "You must be Chubs." And then I was like confused that they don't know each other. But I guess that's kind of how Jersey Shore was too. Like they all were just thrown in the house. They didn't really know each other. So
what I thought was the like big comparison for me though, Jersey Shore, like they don't know each other. They're in a house. They have to live together. They have to like do these certain activities. But for this, it's like
they're separate.
Yeah, like the press release called it docu-reality style, where like it's just they just follow them their lives. They don't like set them up. They don't make them do events. They don't put them on a job together. They just kind of like let them live.
Yeah, which I totally got from it.
Yeah.
Because in Jersey Shore, for the most part, yeah, none of them knew each other.
Yeah.
They were all thrown in a house together and they were all casted separately.
Right.
This group, I think, and from what I'm probably feeling from Kevin and what he's probably thinking, is that they literally just picked a group of friends, like some LA casting director picked a group of friends to shoot this show. And that was really it. But at the same time, like I said, I didn't see that connection at first because they established Nikki and Rachel together and Chubs and his crew.
Right.
Like Chubs, Joe, Chelsea, all of them. And Jamie was even in that crew, kind of.
well, it says Chubs lives with his fraternity brothers. So they kind of know each other. I don't know if Joe is.
Yeah, I think it's just the two of them were the brothers.
We're the brothers. Okay.
they're
So I guess they
And
know
they're
each
still
other
living that
first.
lifestyle.
And then
Yeah,
they say
exactly.
Chelsea and Chubs knew each other previously.
Yeah.
And then that the new girl,
Chrissy. I thought it was so weird they didn't even like show her face in the first episode. So now that I've like focused on the other five, I can't even like pick her out in a crowd.
Yeah.
Like she's like no distinction.
And they say
like,
her and
features.
Chubs like used to hook up, but she
Oh,
pleaded
really?
the fifth
Oh, I didn't
in her
catch that.
confessional.
Also with Chrissy, they said did you catch this? She's 3 jobs. She's like promotional model, a hairdresser, and she works at the prison.
But you know what? Those are
normal.
all very random, but I
Yeah.
could say the same. I have about like 3 jobs too.
Well, yes, but
I'm
like,
not
what
gonna
does
lie.
she do at the prison? Does she like serve lunch, like clean the bathroom? Like, is she a guard?
Yeah,
She's
that's
definitely a guard.
I just
Pretty
can't like
funny.
imagine what she would do.
That is really weird.
She's a
I wish you would
sniper.
go like more into depth and like show us their work atmosphere.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah, like
know?
you were saying before, like I want to see like these girls, like Chelsea and Rachel have their sales jobs. Like, what are their clients gonna think when they see the show? Like, how are they gonna sell their medical devices and their pharmaceuticals?
I don't know.
weird.
You know, I think
You
their
have to take
future
them
may.
seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I-
people not before this show, I'm sure they took them seriously. They didn't really see them.
They don't know.
as
them.
Yeah, and there's
crazy
probably a lot of
animals.
other people like them too around their area. So
But I would love a spin-off of Chrissy at the jail. I don't know, right?
Chrissy at the jail,
Jail
getting
guard,
real.
Chrissy, or
real.
they keep calling her Kristin Cavallari lookalike. So maybe we can have like a Chrissy and Kristin Cavallari spinoff. What do you think about that?
They both work at the
don't
prison.
know.
I bet maybe she's in prison. I think that's what they're trying to like,
Kristen
allude to.
Cavallari is on another level. I kind of like Kristin.
I'm a fan
I don't mind
too.
her. Yeah,
I'm a fan
Chrissy.
too.
at all. So Rachel and Nikki versus Chelsea. I want to talk about this relationship.
Okay.
So Rachel and Nikki kind of have an issue with Chelsea, like I talked about in the bar. Like Chelsea got very territorial, gave Nikki an attitude, didn't want to meet her. Then a few days later or so, Chelsea calls up Nikki and apologizes because she talks to Chelsea about, or she talks to Chrissy about it.
Yeah.
I think the situation is very strange. I feel like she realized that she was wrong, so she called Nikki, but she has a secret hate for Rachel, so she wasn't gonna set that straight.
Well, because Rachel really called her out with her weight in the second episode, and I think that really,
I don't even think that's it, because she was being a biatch before that even happened.
Yes, I think she was just kind of annoyed that they were, giving Chubs attention because Chelsea, that's her man.
And she kept saying Rachel was hooking up with so many people, like she hooked up with 8 of their friends in the group, which really 8 people in their group of friends. Was that really all of their friends?
Oh,
That's
when they were making
crazy.
out.
That was the best.
Because
if like ding, 1, 2.
If it was like a guy in a group with us going out, Alex, I mean, I wouldn't want to hook up with him if he hooked up with like 8 of our friends.
Right.
He's not going to come over to me and hook up with me too.
Right.
Is that a joke?
I was like, wow, good for Rachel. Like, she has a lot more game than I ever thought. And then you see her and she says, hey, will you make out with me?
Yeah, she says, are you single?
Yeah.
Make out. Give me your lips.
Yeah, on the lips.
So weird.
She's forward.
She is
That's
forward.
how it works nowadays.
But so now Chelsea's getting a little gel because not only does she not want Chubs talking to her, but she also was upset that 8 hot guys were hooking up with Rachel.
Yeah.
In one night.
But Nikki said that Chelsea has that jealousy is like a bad disease, and that Chelsea's very jealous of Rachel.
Yeah.
And Nikki.
I agree. Jealousy is a horrible disease.
Oh, I agree.
Nikki got that one right. You're right.
Like some girls are really it's all insecurity.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it comes from. It's so weird.
Being envious is one thing. I had this talk with someone the other day. Envious versus jealousy. Envious is just the desire to want. I'm giving you a lesson right now.
I like it. Keep going. Yeah.
Envious is just, it's like kind of like a small period where you're just like, someone's like, oh, I just went on a trip to Africa. And you're like, wow, that'd be really nice if I could do that. Jealousy is evil. Jealousy is like, I hate you and I'm never going to speak to you again because you went on that trip to Africa, because you don't deserve that.
Because I deserve it and you don't.
See, for me,
Like
it wasn't that
right?
Chelsea was jealous of them. More, it's just like Chelsea's like a very unhappy person, and she's like very angry. Obviously, that's why she drinks so much. Like maybe her it's a beer belly. And, like that's
true.
like it wasn't jealousy. It's just like she's so unhappy. Like see a psychiatrist again. Do yoga. Go with Rachel for yoga.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
Deep breaths, everybody, please.
It helps. Meditation.
I know. I thought it was such brilliant. The setup was so good in the first episode when Joe's talking about how like I don't want a serious relationship. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm just 30. And then Rachel's saying, oh, I want to get married and have kids in 2 years. Like the clock is ticking, and then they make out, and you're just like, oh no.
What about when she's like, I just
not
want
gonna work out.
I want a husband or a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend. I'm like, what does that even mean? She wants to meet an ex-boyfriend, or she wants to rekindle a flame.
She wants to rekindle.
I thought she like wanted to have an ex.
I think.
Maybe.
Like I need a relationship, something.
But what
Please.
about when Rachel was like, she got really, really angry, that Chelsea had called Nikki and not her, and she's like, we are a package deal.
But that's jealousy too. And but I mean, I guess you can be upset, but at the same time, I would just talk normally how Nikki is. Because I feel as though if Nikki's to go out to lunch with this girl, maybe she can knock some sense into her and make her sit down and talk to Rachel and maybe make amends.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even that Chelsea called her, it's that Chelsea needs to think of Rachel and Nikki as a package deal. And you see in the second episode when she does the cheers, and she does the cheers without Nikki. It was their cheers together, but she's mad at Nikki that she didn't consider them and agree. She's like, no, you have to make up with me and Rachel. And Nikki was like, yeah, okay, like we'll do something low key. Rachel was mad.
I know, but that's why we love them. They are a package deal. We want them to be a package deal.
Exactly.
And Nikki is so loyal. I love that when she's like, you will be my best friend till the day I die. And I was like, wow. Like, I want to be her friend.
Okay, and so although Chelsea called Nikki and apologized, when she was doing that, she was sitting next to Chrissy. Sorry, I keep forgetting all their names. There are too many. Chrissy, to me, seems like she may be two-faced a little because she's sitting there in the nail place.
She's playing the mediator.
I don't know because the look on her face while Rachel's talking shit about the other girl, Chelsea. Rachel's talking shit about Chelsea. The look on her face is like a smirk when they're sitting down and eating.
I just feel like Chrissy will like say anything you want to hear, like to your face.
Me too.
And she'll talk about everybody behind your back.
Girl. She's a yes girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they teach you in prison, right?
Oh my God, do they? How do you know?
We need to see some footage. I cannot get into that.
Have you been there that we don't know about you? I know we just met,
next week.
So Jeff is a really great host at AFTERBUZZ. He has a lot of dirty deeds.
I had a lot of alone time in prison to get to know myself.
All right, this is getting wickedly weird.
Wickedly weird. I love it.
I'm just gonna keep using that adjective the whole time.
So another thing that happened in this episode was the cocktail party, I think, or dinner party.
The
whatever.
luxurious cocktail party.
Yeah.
Yeah, she called it the luxurious cocktail party. And I love with them at, what were they, like at a Party City kind of, you know, like a party store.
Oh, yeah, where they're
trying
out
on,
what they were gonna.
Yeah, and Nikki's like trying on like the lips and like the hats and just being Nikki.
Right. And what did Rachel teach us? Like, some tinsel is classy, a lot of tinsel tacky.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great.
Which
Thank you.
I don't even think they used it because they had some wine connoisseur there or whatever, and they were just wine tasting. That was really it. So what were they eating? And what it looked like everyone was kind of bored too.
Yeah.
And I love how she was like, "This is so classy. My friends are classy." And then, right then they like show a shot of them all like drinking, and it's like, yeah, and there are these like two like ratchet women like with them. I'm just like, this is not classy.
What was her cheer? What was her cheer again? It was like,
oh,
cheers to me, and if you screw, cheers to me. Something like, it was so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was weird.
It was weird.
And then I love the
But I wanna
comparison
learn
of
it.
Chubs' party then, where he has like 100 people following him around, and they start at daylight and they go till dawn.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
pub crawl.
Yeah.
That's more Chubs
That was
style.
big.
Can I ask you guys an honest question?
Yeah.
About the accents on this show? So I'm watching this, and I'm from Long Island, so I think, wow, oh my God, do we sound like this? I know I don't really sound that thick anymore, but do my friends sound like this? Is it really that bad? As much as I hate listening to these girls speak,
Yeah.
do I hate how my friends sound at home? Do you guys think there's a, because you've seen the Jersey Shore, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think that one's better than the other, or do you think they're both bad, or do you like them? What do you think about the accents?
Well, my parents are from New York, so I'm from LA, but my parents are from New York, so I'm used to the New York accent. So I identify more with the New York accent, where the Bostonian accent is not.
Foreign.
It's more whiny.
It is. You got
Whiny.
it.
It's
But
just
it's
like a wild
entertaining.
thing. Like, it's
wild.
out of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like Rachel, like hearing her talk, how could you
Yeah,
not like
her
laugh and
accent's the
smile?
most distinct.
Yeah.
But I laugh every time she talks because it's like so her potty and everything. Potty hotta.
You're so right. So do you think they're both obnoxious then? Both those accents?
I think it would be
No.
obnoxious if everybody's accent on the show was as thick as Rachel's was. But
Yeah.
luckily, like,
Oh,
we just
yeah.
have the one. So it
Yeah,
works.
maybe they did that on
Yeah.
purpose.
But I actually don't mind Rachel's as much as I mind the others.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because to me, Rachel's is the strongest.
Like,
Yeah.
it is, but actually hers is bad too. But I guess her personality makes a little better.
You can really hear it
You
in her like confessional or her interview when she's going to try on the bridesmaids dresses, and she's like, "I have 4 sisters."
Actually, it is.
That's the
worst.
strongest
It
part
is.
that
Yeah.
you can hear it. Like
You're
it's
right.
very distinct there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Right.
Like,
But
her
I can
accent.
tolerate it because she's interesting to watch.
Yeah, she's cute. She's like, as much as she's kind of out there, like she's likable. I feel like
Very much, yeah.
She's gonna be a strong character on the show.
Yeah, and like what am I trying to say? But like what like aging woman can't relate to the fact that like they want to get married and have kids?
I know.
Like,
that's what I'm
like
saying.
That desire.
It's
Right.
she's very relatable, She's funny and straight to the point when she's like, yeah, I just like him because he's a jerk. And it's like, a lot of girls like jerks. And That's why we're all so single.
And because they're all jerks. Oh, I sound like I'm from Boston. I can't even speak now. Jesus.
Can we talk about Nikki falling though? Because it happens like every commercial break.
Yeah.
Before it.
She's a snooki.
She is snooki. She's a klutz.
know.
She says it herself.
But and then she fell on her wrist. She breaks it. She has to go into surgery. And then that same day, she is complaining because she can't drink, and then she does. And they just want to drink.
Wow, I just realized we've only had 2 episodes, and she's probably hurt like 5 parts of her body.
Oh yeah, well she broke her wrist.
She got paralyzed.
But don't worry, the doctor was hot, so it was enjoyable. So maybe she'll break. She said maybe I'll break my wrist tonight, also, so she can go back and see the doctor.
I love what she said. She said, "What if I break another wrist? Well, my other wrist." The other wrist I have left.
You know what's crazy? She was in a cast, right? That end of the first episode.
She's like, how am I gonna do my hair?
So I'm thinking like that was a pilot episode, and then when it got picked up, they started refilming. Because how else could you explain her being in a cast, and in the second episode she's like completely fine, you know, healed, better. She even said, I haven't been out in so long.
Oh, I didn't.
I really think that maybe the first episode was a pilot episode they pitched.
Gab. Good catch.
The professional.
Producer eyes.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's that continuity right there.
Yeah.
It's either that or they faked it. So one or the other.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll go with the pilot episode.
I believe you.
But anyways, we have some really cool news and gossip, I think, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into that.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
So if you're like me, you're thinking like, where they find these people? Like, how do they exist and they're real? And let me tell you.
Are they real?
Tell us,
They are
Jeff.
actually single people in the cast of Wicked. No, just kidding. So Chubs,
Go on, but
Chubs, aka James, sent in an audition tape for another show. He wasn't cast, but they're like, oh my God, this guy, he's fascinating. And so they said, like, we want to know like more about him, more about his friends, more about his life. And they did, and they ended up turning it into a show, which we now call Wicked Single.
So what show is he auditioning for? Do you know?
I do not know. It wasn't anywhere.
Wow.
Boston.com was interviewing the executive vice president of original programming about this, and he told that story and how they just fell in love with him. They thought he was an authentic Boston.
Chubs.
interesting. I think that same thing happened with I think it was JWoww.
Really?
Yeah, they had interviewed JWoww for another show, and then she wasn't casted, but they used her for Jersey
Probably
Shore.
for Real World. I bet you that's what they all audition for.
Something similar to that, but I guess that happens a lot. So never give up. Never give up.
Yeah, never give up. You know, you have
to learn from the Wicked Single after show.
So rejection is okay because in the end, if at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up.
Try again.
Exactly.
Oh,
try again.
Beautiful.
You know,
learning so many things tonight. We're getting deep.
The other news I found is that the numbers are not out for last night, but for the opening premiere last week, it only had about 250,000 viewers. So not too hot. I mean, it's at 11 o'clock time slot, but I feel like this show will do really good for the reruns. It's something it's Tuesday night, you come home from work, and you're like, oh my God, let me just watch this. Oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
Honey, bring me another beer. I gotta keep watching this. They make me feel like I'm sober. It's amazing.
Yeah, because you can kind of vicariously live through them.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Kevin is like that too. Kevin Undergaro, he loves the Jersey Shore because he can vicariously live through their lives. Anytime we get someone in the studio, he's like, I want to be you. You are so lucky. I would do anything to be in that house. You have no idea.
That's so funny. And
So
I love that VH1 was embracing all of the horrible publicity so far. What was it? The Examiner said sad, depressing version of Jersey Shore. The New York Times called it Boston wins the race to the bottom. And there's everybody's bashing it. And so they turned that into their promo, and they're quoting it yep.
No, I thought they were just quoting all these random YouTube users to act like it was actually a valid source.
Some of them were, but these actual news sources are coming in. The Boston Herald called it wicked awful. And you're like, oh.
Wow, that's awesome.
But
yeah.
Any publicity is good.
That's what I said.
Another lesson from the Wicked Single After Show.
Hell yes.
But
Thank you,
I love that they're embracing it though. They're not hey, it's got heart, maybe, but watch it because you enjoy it.
Right.
But that's, I mean, that's same with Jersey Shore. How many people bash Jersey Shore?
They did, but more so it was the Italian American community because they were upset that they were being represented.
And I'm Italian, so I understand that.
Yeah.
My mom was very angry.
Was she?
And I was like, Mom, it's a show. Relax.
Right, it's 6
That's
people.
awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like Boston, though, they have Harvard. They're like, okay, you know we've smart people. Like, it's fine.
Yeah,
Like, they don't care.
That was like the
That's so
same
true.
thing. Do you guys ever, did you see the Gotti show when it was on A&E?
No.
It was like a reality show about the Gotti brothers. These like young teenagers. John Gotti is their father, grandfather, or something like that in the mafia. So anyways, they were living in Long Island, and there was this huge reality show on them, like back in the day when we were in like high school. And I just remember it being like big, and I just remember my parents being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is on TV."
Yeah.
Because they're like huge in the mob.
I
Now
know.
they have Mob Wives, like 10 years later.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Just reality shows keep coming.
They
I
do.
know, and I hate like spending time on them and watching them. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like, of course I'm gonna watch them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I love them so much.
It's like that car accident you have to watch. right?
I guess so, yeah.
Too soon? Oh.
Too soon, yeah. We'll make a little announcement.
Yeah,
we're missing a host.
We're missing a host today. She got in a car accident. We're sad, but
Yeah.
she's okay. See her next week.
She's okay.
We
She'll
love
be
you,
here
Nat.
next week. Yeah, you guys will meet her. She's new too. She's amazing. So well wishes to you, Naz. We love you. And we have a special segment which I think we should do next. I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jeff and Alex came up with this together.
Yeah, we've got Boston Lingo 101.
Boston Lingo 101
Or
from your
Wicked
AfterBuzz host.
Wicked Single lingo.
Wicked Single.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because yes, it's Boston lingo because it deals with Boston, but it's seen on Wicked Single.
Exactly.
Right. So now they're going to be making money off all of these terms that aren't
Yeah.
already.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, Jersey Shore did the same thing. I know we keep comparing it to Jersey Shore, but they do have a lot of similarities as differences.
We've got our abbreviations, the RBVs.
Yeah, let's start with the RBVs, the Red Bull vodkas. Now I drink them. I'm going to put some SF RBVs because I drink my sugar-free Red Bull vodkas, and those are different. But
I
who was
never
it,
heard that
Chelsea?
before. Yeah,
I had never
Chelsea.
heard that either. Chelsea reps her RBVs.
Chelsea was the queen of these. She got the RBVs and the FOMOs and the P's and the V's, and I was like, woo, girl.
Yeah. And we also have Club Med, which is Chubs' house.
Yes.
Which is an actual place,
Yeah,
or
in
was
Mexico.
a place.
In
Yeah.
Mexico. Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, it's a vacation spot.
But I love it. I like that term.
I also
It's
love
like
that their RBVs, though, were like, 7/8 vodka, like a splash of Red Bull.
splash of. We'll change it to SFRBV.
I like that. I'm probably going to use it.
I'm
that
totally
one
using
catches
that.
on.
But can you imagine having
know?
a few of them and then asking the bartender for an SGFR? You can't even say it
Oh, it'd be
anymore.
like the
but
Chinese
Everything's going to be
scene.
abbreviated now when you go out. Like, you won't even have a drink menu with an actual, like, mojito, or it's all going to be abbreviated.
yeah, well, we definitely FOMO.
Mojo.
FOMO. We have in LA. I mean, I use that with my
I
friends.
had never heard that before.
Really?
Never.
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah,
Welcome
now I
to
know it.
21st century.
Have you heard of
Thank
YOLO?
you so much. I
You
just
only
woke up
live
today.
once.
YOLO?
I have heard of that, yes. Thank you.
Love it. I'm all about YOLO. That's
Have
how I
you
live
heard of the
life.
USA?
YOLO.
And Chelsea and beer balls. Beer balls.
Was that on the show?
That was on the show.
What are those?
Beer balls are when it's similar to beer goggles where you have the balls to speak to
Oh, I like
someone
that.
of the opposite sex.
Once you've had
a
enough
lot.
beer in your
Once
system.
you've had enough
Beer
beer.
balls.
And then and then we have Rachel where she referred to someone as wicked hot. So anything, I guess it's just the adjective
Wicked, yeah.
wicked.
And did you guys
It's what
catch
they
in the
use.
first episode, they've got their khakis, which are their keys
Ooh.
for the car?
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I was
Got
like,
my
he's not wearing
khakis.
khakis. What are you talking about? He's blind. He's colorblind. Chubbs is colorblind. You heard it here first. No, they're his keys. That's fascinating. I don't know where
very-
they got that from. And then also when they're speaking of driving, they're banging their U's, like their U-turns. And Rachel's like, oh, I'm just like, I had to bang a U to get here. And I was like, what does that mean?
We have to actually sit and think about what they're saying so we
Yeah.
can comprehend
Yeah.
it.
That's why I watch
It's
it, to
kinda
learn
difficult.
stuff. I watch the show to learn things. Like fraps.
Fraps.
Fraps are milkshakes.
It really is a documentary.
Oh my gosh. Well, fraps I could kind of see
Fraps
as milkshakes
at
because
Starbucks,
Yeah, frappuccinos.
yeah.
But it's not coffee. It's like milk and ice cream and chocolate syrup.
Well, they make that at Starbucks, though.
Maybe.
So
don't
I
know.
could see that. I use fraps in my lingo.
So we know
Okay,
FOMO and we know fraps.
What was the other one? A Southie, we learned.
Southie?
Yeah, Chrissy is a Southie, which means from like South Boston.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Southie.
I don't know. I'm from North Carolina, so I said, "Oh, the South, great." She's like from the South, but no, it's South Boston. Check
It's
yourself.
like the south of the city.
What's the difference? Like South Boston versus Northern Boston? Is there like a
I have
I'm
no
not
idea.
even
difference
sure.
of people?
It's just, yeah, it's like how New York is Brooklyn, Queens.
Right,
You know,
but I'm
it's
wondering,
like
is there
that
like
part.
stereotypes that go along with
Yeah,
the
I'm
Southeast
sure.
versus...
Yeah,
Definitely.
we'll see.
We'll have to ask Kevin. He might come in next week, and he's from Boston. So
Yeah,
he can tell us
exciting.
all about
You
that
can
juicy
help us with our vocabulary
insider.
lessons.
Yeah.
It'll be an ongoing weekly thing.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure he knows things we don't even know about,
Right.
and that they didn't even list on the show.
Yeah, and the last one I caught was I loved the crushing. And I was like, oh, I've got crushes, yeah. But no, they're crushing beers and they're crushing life. And then, of course, they're crushing like guys and girls. And I was like, okay.
Well,
Wow.
crushing beers, I've heard that.
have?
Yeah,
Oh
you
my
crush a beer.
God.
That's a
Kids these
college
days are
term.
so-
That's a college term. But like crushing a girl,
Crushing life?
Would be more
Have you heard that?
crushing life, yeah.
Oh,
like we're crushing
I
life
haven't heard
tonight.
that.
I have FOMO for these vocab words. God.
What else?
Oh, you're learning.
Thank you. I'm a fast learner. I fake it well.
What other lingo? Have we heard anything else?
I think that's about it.
That's actually a lot
we'll
for
learn
2
more.
I
episodes.
know.
Again,
Yeah.
what
Oh.
the hell?
I know. So we got our
There's so
fraps, our
much.
Southies, our FOMOs, our RBVs.
Yeah.
We're all here.
We're all
It's a
here.
new language.
So now we're lingoed out for 2 episodes. Where God knows what we're gonna have for the next one.
I know. I'm nervous.
Yeah, but overall, I do like it. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's young. It keeps me young. 'Cause it makes me want to go out tonight, even though I'm not going to because I'm tired.
Makes me feel like a lightweight.
But yeah, that too.
Right?
I'm still drunk from the second episode.
Oh
I
my
know.
God. No, seriously, me and Alex worked 3 months straight and we went out like maybe twice.
Yeah.
And after that run ended and I went out and drank hardcore, I was like done. Like a drink was making me crazy.
You
You
were like,
saw
whoa,
me.
too much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did
She's
see
like,
you,
Gabby, you're drunk. I was like,
But
it was
that's
one glass of wine.
next after show, we'll talk about Gabby.
Yeah.
Gabby's first drink.
Yeah, right. Gabby's one drink and done. So yeah, until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Is there
Yeah.
any predictions we have for the next episode?
Do we think any characters are going to hook up? Like, is it going to happen for Chelsea and Chubs? Like, for Joe and Rachel?
yes.
I think eventually. Chelsea and Chubs
They
will
might
hook up. I don't
be
know
the
if it'll be next.
relationship.
Yeah.
I could see it happening like the
the
Jersey
crew.
Shore hot tub moment where, like, they're in there, they're making out, like, the top comes off and it's like, oh, no, we can't do this. Remember that for Snooki?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
They definitely will get together. I think Rachel will continue to follow Joe, and I don't know. I think a few episodes he'll give in, but I don't think he's into her. Who knows?
The optimist in me believes that Rachel will find true love and get married in the finale.
Eventually. She might at some point.
I hope that happens for all of us, and we don't have to be wicked single our whole lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed.
You too.
We'll all get
Okay,
married
we'll
by the
cross
end
those.
of this season. I'm just kidding.
No, too early.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I think
excited
it's
for what's next.
gonna be. I'm excited too. I think it's gonna be a good season. Hopefully there's more juicy stuff that comes about.
Yeah.
Hopefully
more drama. We need
Chubs and Chelsea hook up. I want that.
In the green towel room.
And there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I forgot it.
I don't know. I just
Oh,
hope
well.
something like happens besides just going to bars and just drinking.
Yeah.
Like, I need something more.
I know what I was gonna say. I predict that we're gonna get hotter guys on this show.
Oh, let's talk about that real quick before we leave. Let's talk about there's no
Put it
eye
in your
candy.
prediction.
Okay,
You
my
want a hot
prediction.
guy.
I want a hot guy to come on the
So
show.
maybe the producers will hear us cry for help and give us some.
Yeah.
You guys
ideas.
had PJ last episode, another acronym. PJ,
Yeah,
with his
PJ
RBVs.
PJ's stepping it up. PJ's, but he's no Pauly D. Come on.
I'm sorry. Wait, I need to throw up for a second.
The bodies are not the ones of Jersey Shore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, put that
No.
shirt back on.
Chubs.
So I'm gonna pray and predict that in a future episode, like some of the other cast members came in late, that a hottie will come in.
I
late,
know. We
too.
need some hotties in our life.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in again.
Yes.
Please tweet at us, comment, rate everything. My Twitter handle is Gabrielle_Loren. What about you guys again?
I tweet from Jeff Masters 1.
And I'm at Alex Schiffman.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Cool.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Thanks.
Wicked.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AFTERBUZZ TV or its owners or principals.